the YouTube golfer that turned down the opportunity to golf on the PGA Tour because the PGA Tour wouldn't give him the opportunity to film, which I think is just incredible. As an athlete, I'm just going to say, Nick, and I shouldn't say this as someone that is a very, very amateur golfer. I think he's just a bit scared. But the more businessman is, I think it's incredibly short-sighted by him. I get him wanting to tell this narrative that his YouTube fan base is what gave him the opportunity, but there's just no realistic world the PGA Tour was ever going to allow him to do that. But on the other side, like, mate, just like what you could do for your brand name by going out and golfing, hell, maybe you do really well. Like, I'd be curious to know where you fall on that, because I've seen some people take the other opinion, which is, oh, the PGA Tour, bunch of old white guys that don't understand youth culture and things like that. And I was like, I think the other guy's being short-sighted about what this could do for his career. But yeah, that's us going off piece talking about YouTube.
Well, no, it's a fair point, because it links with YouTube, and we actually did talk about that yesterday, Roger and I, on stage. He was the only interview I actually did, a proper interview, sit-down interview. The rest were either brief Q&A with everyone else who were doing presentations. But we talked a little bit about, obviously, the fact that you are competing now with the creators of the world for attention, and that's why it's important to be able to differentiate. But your example of Grant Horvat is an interesting one. The skeptic in me is basically suggesting he didn't want to put himself on the line, and if he shoots a 15 over round, then it's not good for his brand. If that's the case, I don't think it could just be just that alone. And I mean, he's a very good golfer. He obviously plays, and he's an influencer, plays with some of the best names, but he's not that tier, and he knows that. So I'm not sure how genuine that is. That's the skeptic in me. I would say that he was basically didn't want to put himself on the line. Though that being said, I don't think they played a few tournaments, but I think I've watched one of his videos where he was just trying to get, was it a tour qualifier maybe to get on the tour, and he wasn't anywhere near the mark. So I think just basically sticking to his focus on being a good content creator is where he'll continue to focus. That's what pays the bills. Being a really high-level, well-followed content creator probably pays him better than being a below-par or fledgling or flailing to a pro or aspiring pro. So, not a knock on him. He kicked my backside in golf every single day, but I think it's just a smart business decision more than anything. I just don't know if the message was necessary. I think it's more the messaging. To be clear, it's not the decision to knock it back. It's like, hey, everyone, I'm not doing this because they wouldn't let me have my camera crew there. I'm like, come on, mate. It's like, you're going to get exposure in different places. You'll be able to do some great content around the edges of it. Like, you can make it work if you wanted to.
Yeah, and on that, we're on agreement. I think for me, it's just some of the people I've seen talk about the PGA, not being open-minded to opening up the window, it was like, because like I mentioned Bryson DeChambeau the other day, watching his YouTube channel. Well, they're going to let some YouTuber do it. Why can't he do it? And then all of a sudden the hundreds of millions of dollars, pounds, from Sky, ESPN, everyone else. Why am I paying for this if you're letting these guys go do it? Like, it doesn't work. So yeah, I think my comments more the people that were yelling at the PGA Tour about it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I think it's an easy thing to point out, right? It's an easy thing to say, oh, the PGA should do better, should let them have access. But yeah, where do you start? Where do you stop? Like, if he's going to start doing it in a couple of years, you would get half the tour doing it probably if they open up those floodgates. One of the things that has made Bryson DeChambeau so famous is obviously doing a lot of content around the live golf flexibility that he has. But it hasn't actually been loads of content from the live matches themselves that I have seen that he's broadcast. It's all around the peripherals. So maybe there's some flexibility in the future PGA Tour can give around broadcasting or creating content pre-matches and around and like practice rounds and so forth. But I think to have a massive goal, I think just an easy thing to do. But I'm more on the PGA Tour side than anything else, given the amount of plays they have in the competition and so forth. I think it is a Pandora's box if you start letting one do it.